Hello and welcome to the Great Lakes Grand Finale here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel for the Airport Racing League. Words are hard, and I just forgot most of them. But it's the Great Lakes Finale here from Michigan, the final race of the season. Tonight, we crown a champion. Just having a quick little squiz at the points, which I should have done before this, but I didn't. The Christian Budd leads the way by just 4 points over Scott Rickard. Can Rickard secure another championship? Austin Collins sitting in third. He's 10 points adrift from Scott. He's still in with a chance. Ken Campbell, 18 points adrift from the lead. Still has a chance. So too does James Watson. Just 1 point behind Ken. I think Joe Salama might be mathematically out of the chance of the championship. It all depends on how the cards lay on the table after the stage points are calculated. See cars coming out onto the track right now. They're getting ready for a pit party. And from what I've heard from drivers so far, it's not just the Michigan Speedway, but it's the Michigan Super Speedway with minimal lifting. So it should be interesting. Here it goes. Everyone is getting ready for the pit party here. 65 is what we guesstimate the pace speed is. The pace car, metaphorically speaking, should be just about into the pit lane. So far, we have 12 people to take on the racing action tonight. And we're off and racing. A very late launch for the field. Normally they'd launch around the restart zone. They waited until they were like 20 feet away from the finish line. Christian Budd immediately asserting his dominance into the lead of the pit party. Only 10 people have set times at the moment, with the 13 people we have on track. Great little pack we got going on here. Very racy with Chris Champeau, James Watson, Ken Campbell, Scott Ricketts in there, Matt Horton, and Travis Massia. Like Horton, down on the apron temporarily. That's a line you don't normally see around here. Ooh, a few people getting squirrely there coming out of 2. And a lot of talk in the earlier stages of practice about tight and loose. Loose if you hit the seams just right, tight any other time of the day. It's definitely going to be an interesting one for these drivers to handle. They try and navigate through the length of the race. Got just over 6 minutes left. And lap times are pretty quick too, just looking at them. Fast time set by Christian Budd so far is a 37.835. I think that says. Or is it a 6.35? Yeah, I can't read. Last year was a 37.7 for P2 so far. 37.841 for Chris Champeau in third. But we also have all the what ifs. Like, what if Christian gets caught up in another incident throughout the race and Scott goes on the win? That will shake things up a bit. Oh, just saw Scott get a wiggle on coming out of 2 and slam the fence big time. Car that was in front of him also slamming the fence. I think that car that was in front of him was Chris Champeau, who slammed the fence. Lap times on the board now as Logan McCannally finally gets a lap in. I wonder if he'll actually stick around for the race today. He has a habit of showing up and then not participating in the race. Makes me sad. Time is ticking away. There is just 90 seconds left in the session now. That also means that we are just moments away from going to a commercial break. And while we go to commercials, these guys will be qualifying. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Racing action will be coming up very shortly while we set the grid for the Great Lakes Grand Finale here at the Michigan Speedway. Welcome back to the Michigan Speedway. As you can see, qualifying has just completed. For the Great Lakes Grand Finale, it is time for us to find out who has qualified where. Start on the pole. Got the 17 of Christian Budd on his outside. It will be the 12 of Chris Champeau. P3, we have the 39 of James Watson. P4, the 05 of Scott Rickard. P5 will be the 13 of Travis Massey, or P6, the 15 of Ken Campbell. P7 is going to be David Huckleberry in the 52 with P8, the 5 of Mark Pentacuff. P9, the last one eligible for hard charger, the 74 of Austin Collins, with Logan McAnally out of P10, the first of the non-qualifiers. P11, the 29 of Nate Moit, with P12, the 8 of Matt Horton. Our final row is going to be P13, the 6 of Mitch Pape, and P14, the 00 of Jonas Marquez. The 14 cars to take on racing action here tonight at Michigan. Now you see a couple of the championship hopefuls on screen, and then the spoiler of Chris Champeau. It looks like Jonas Marquez did not make the call to come to the grid. We have 90 laps ahead of us at this 2-mile long circuit. Let's see what kind of chaos will ensue. The pace car makes that hard left turn into pit lane. And we're off and racing. Good even jump by both of the front row, but then Christian Budd just finds that little bit of extra grip off the start, pulls ahead of Chris Champeau. Around the outside of Champeau. Oh, around. I didn't see who that was. Someone got turned in the back. It was the 13 of Travis Massey. Let's see what happened here to Travis. Coming out of turn 2. No great camera angles. He gets loose. And then, because of his looseness, he turns himself off the nose of Logan McAnally. Manages to keep it off the wall, though, which is very important. And that is the first caution of the race. That's how quickly it can happen. Go from 0 to 0 in 0.4 seconds flat. I'll be surprised if we see any takers for anything other than fuel. We do have at least 3 takers. That's Austin Collins, Logan McAnally, and Travis Massia, who have all gone pit side. The lights remain on the pace car, so we'll go at least one more lap around. Bring up our little pit lane graphic here. There's 74 of Austin Collins already on the move. So he went for fuel only. The 1 and the 13 still there. They'd be both getting damage fixed, I'd assume. They were the ones who had contact with each other. Cannelly is already out. That just leaves Massia in the pits. So we made it 2 corners before we got our first caution of the race. And Massia is out of the pits, so I'm assuming he's gotten his full repairs done. Lights will go out on the pace car this time around. Austin Collins making another trip down the pit lane just to cram that little bit of extra fuel in there again. The leader has the lane choice and Christian Budd has chosen the inside lane. And now instead of starting on green, he gets to start at any point within the restart zone. This is what Christian Budd loves about being in the lead. If there is a caution and he comes out in first, he's going to be restarting the race on his terms. He can get as big or as little as a jump as he wants. Pace car makes that hard left turn into pit lane. And here we go. For the first restart, the second attempt at getting this race going.
Go.
Christian Budd goes very early in the box. Good restart from Scott Rickett there, actually. So good, in fact, that James Watson might take over third from Chris Champeau, and he does. Also shuffling around from cars on their cold tires. So Chris Champeau trying to effect an overtake on the 39 James Watson. Same time, you got Ken Campbell and Nathan Moyt running side by side there. That's for 5th. Champ takes back 4th. No, that's 3rd. Looks like Nathan Moyt has taken 5th. Looks like Watson's starting to fall into the clutches of Nate. Nate just unable to do anything with it. Campbell still trying to get that slightly higher line working. It didn't get rubbered in very much from practice. He's at least trying to rubber it in turns 1 and 2. Nate has taken over the 4th position from James Watson. He's now going to try and make that charge after the 3rd place Chris Champeau. Top 3 actually running very close together. It looks like Chris Champeau is going to take over 2nd. All the way down onto the apron in the main straight. Trying to cut down the track as much as he can. And he makes the move stick now on Scott Rickard. Rickard demoted down to 3rd. Chris Champeau looking real good right now. Got a ton of pace on board that number 12 car. Now looking to the outside of Bud. Coming out of turn 4. He's got the extra momentum. Couldn't do anything with it. Right up on his tail. Almost pushing him along the front straight. Christian runs high, trying to take the line away. Diamond's down low, coming out of 2, trying to get the extra momentum that way. If he keeps up this diamond line, he's definitely going to have a bit of speed, but he might wear out his right front a little bit faster doing it like that. So watch this space. This could become quite the spicy battle towards the end of the run. James Watson just put in the fast time for the lap. Scott Rickard with the fastest lap time overall. We've already got about a half a second of drop off in time. Down to the inside goes Chris Champeau, trying to make the overtake on Christian Budd. Budd on the outside, too strong with the momentum. Champo's really making Bud work for it. Oh, such close quarters. They were a sneeze away from disaster there. Now side drafting comes into play. As Champo has the run going into 1 and 2. Can't quite get him cleared. They'll drag race down the back straight once more. And Bud, again, just too strong. That outside line momentum is just something else. Now here comes the big run from Champo. Bud running much lower than what he was previously now. So too is Champo. That seemed to work out for Bud that time. Keep changing and exchanging lines. Champo's throwing everything at it, including the kitchen sink. Not really much else to look at right now besides these two. Everyone else is kind of just single filed out a bit now. What I think is real important is that these guys have not really pulled away from the rest of the field. In fact, because of their incessant battling, the rest of the field has been brought back into this race. Chris Champo is just relentless right now. Trying everything he can to get around Christian Bud. Bud's starting to pick up the pace though. Had the fastest time last lap around. Quickly eclipsed this lap by Logan McAnally. Oh, some of the guys in the pack starting to get a little bit sketchy. Now Christian Budd starting to use the afterburners. He's pulling away from Chris Champeau. And we have a battle here between Campbell and Watson. Campbell trying to get Nate into it as well. So this is the 3-car battle for 4th. Right behind them lurking, Matt Horton. Horton, who had just recently gotten around McAnally as well. McAnally running the Larson line right up by the fence. It seems like people who have been looking after their tyres starting to come up towards the front now. I think we're going to use this advantage right now to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, more racing action will be coming your way. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the Great Lakes Grand Finale here from the Michigan Speedway. And as you can see, we're focusing right in on the 05 of Scott Rickard. Literally, just as we went to break, he was right up behind Chris Champeau. Champ got loose in front of him and he hit the wall. Scott Rickard now down in P11, and this is not great for his championship hopes. Go back up towards the front of the field. Nate and Ken currently battling over the 3rd position now. Once I hit the right button, there it is. Oh, I thought things were about to get spicy. Just about contact as they were going into turn 1. I didn't think these two had a frosty rivalry, but I guess they might. Ken now pulling to the inside. This is the battle for 3rd. Ken Campbell takes it with authority. Horton, the next one to line up and take a pot shot at Nate. What can Matt do against the power of that Penske 29 who's in the fence? Just lost a whole bunch of momentum. Now he's fallen behind Logan McAnally, who's had a great recovery. After getting repairs done, he's up into P5. Nate down to P6. What damage is on the 29 car? It looks like McAnally and Horton are about to have a battle here as well. Business starting to pick up as we pass 1/3 race distance. Horton now trying to effect an overtake on Campbell. Can't quite get there this time. Christian Budd with just a little bit over a 1.5 second lead over Chris Champeau. Horton running the Larson line. McAnally down on the bottom. Both of them in an effort to try and catch up to the 15. McAnally gets around Horton. Mark Pentecoff was the first one to take a pit stop. He's just come out. 14.7 seconds in the box. McAnally going for a big dive underneath the can now. He's got his nose ahead, but he's not quite clear. Campbell with the momentums starts fighting back. It wasn't enough at the line. But it's enough now. McAnally clean and clear into P3. These guys are all so close to the P2 of Chris Champeau as well, as Horton got a little wiggle. McAnally diving to the inside. And it looks like he's going to clear Champeau coming out of turn 2. It's going to be close, but he does get him cleared. McAnally now into P2. It looks like Champeau is about to lose some more as the 15 of Campbell gets around him. Horton looking to take a pot shot as well. Champeau just losing positions hand over fist here. Christian Budd has extended his lead as Watson, Pape and Huckleberry have all come into the pits. And it looks like the 12 of Chris Champeau is in. Christian Budd also in the pits. And I can see Scott Rickett has followed suit. Now if they keep going like this, they're going to be just a little bit short. By about 10 laps. Here comes some more. We've got Campbell, Horton, and Amoit in. McAnally has taken the lead of the race. He's probably going to hold it for a few laps here before he comes in. Only 3 left to pit. That's Horton, McAnally, and Massia. As there was almost a little bit of contact there in the pit lane between Horton and Nate. McAnally is in. I think the 13 of Massia was also shaping up to come in. He did. So now it's just Austin Collins left to pit. And he'll probably be pushing it for as long as he possibly can. He probably wants to try and make it to 45 so he can only do a 1-stop. But even then, that logic is broken because we had the early caution. I think for it to truly work, he would have to go to at least lap 47. See, he is just dead in the water compared to everyone else. He is losing time hand over fist as everyone comes around him to unlap themselves. And Horton's the only car that I've seen that has been getting onto the apron in the corners. I'm not sure what he's found down there grip-wise, but it's working for him. It's mostly in 1 and 2. He'll sometimes get onto the apron. But apparently there is a bit of grip to be had in it. As Austin Collins has come in. He's come up a little bit short. This will hand the lead back to Christian Budd. Where is Collins going to file out? That's going to be the question. It looks like he's all the way down in the 11th. He'll possibly fall to 12th. No, he'll stay 11th. And just like that, Christian Budd has over a 3 3/4 second lead over James Watson in P2. And if my calculations are correct, with Christian Budd taking the stage victory, I think it's academic. He wins the championship. I think even if he crashed out right now, Scott Rickard were to take the win, that Christian Budd would still be the winner of the championship. Here goes McAnally now, pulling to the inside of Champo. And that is the move for P4. Champo still trying to hold on strong around the outside while not burning up his tyres too much. It's just McAnally at the line. The champ, no slouch. He will try and fight back. But he's just going to be unable to do so. Look at how unsettled the car is coming out of turn 2. You know, he didn't just lose the spot, he lost so much ground to McAnally there. McAnally marches on. Over 4 seconds now is the gap between first and second. Mark Pentecoff starting to feel the pressure from Amoit and Collins as they're both going to get around him. Scott Rickard trying to start a recovery drive here. You got Luce coming out too, and I think Mitch Pate behind him in the 6 just slammed the fence. But Pentecoff's having a good day though. Solid top 10 run at the moment. Oh, Nate Amoit. He has gone around and smashed the inside fence. Caution is out. What happened here coming out of turn 2? So he was in a battle with Austin Collins. Oh, you can see he's loose. He just taps the wall and it just unsettles the car a little bit more. He can't save it. And at this point, it's already too late. Even if he got on the brakes, he was still going straight towards the fence. Heavy impact on the back of that car. 3 wheels in the air. And that is the second caution for the race. So we are going to take advantage of that. And we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be going to the checkered flags. Make sure you guys stay tuned. More racing action from the Great Lakes Grand Finale will be coming up very shortly. welcome back to the Great Lakes Grand Finale here from the Michigan Speedway. Christian Budd came into the pits first, and he's come out of the pits in first. James Watson in second. We've got Campbell, who crossed the line in third, but I think it is Logan McAnally, who's going to be third on track. Got Chris Champeau fourth, and Campbell in fifth. And Christian's actually in front of the pace car. Gonna have to back that up. As several drivers going back into the pits to get some more fuel. Chris Champeau and Austin Collins stayed out. Scott Rickard's just come out of the pits. I'm assuming he went and got some damage fixed. The lights are out on the pace car. And it looks like Christian Budd is going to choose the inside line. Means Chris Champeau should be on the outside. Got Austin Collins in third. But don't rely on the standings you see over on the left right now. The order is completely different from everyone pitting. There's James Watson. He'll be fourth. And there's only going to be 1 2 wide row. Everyone else is going to be single file behind Christian Budd at the end of the longest line. All right, here we go for the restart. And we're off and racing. Christian Budd made them all wait because they were mostly single file. It's going to be Budd, Champeau, Collins, Watson, Campbell, McAnally, Horton. That's your top 7. Rickard's starting to make some moves through the field with his newly repaired car. Big battle for second between the 12 and the 74. At the moment, Austin Collins would be the hard charger. Up 6 positions from where he started. He did qualify. He's half a second off the pace. He was the last eligible car for hard charger. Collins now up into P2. And he looks like he wants to try and challenge for the lead. He just about gets his nose underneath a Christian Bud. Couldn't quite get there. Champo got a little bit loose coming out of 2, but it looked like it helped him more than it hurt him. Collins using the extra momentums from that outside lane. Holds on the second. And he's going to challenge for the lead. To the inside of Christian Bud he goes. The speed difference going into turn 3. Collins had to check up extra hard there. Here he goes for another charge to the inside in 1 and 2. And no, too strong as the 17 car. You can see he's pushing hard to stay in front of Austin. I think everyone else behind the top 3 trying to be a little bit more conservative, trying to save a little bit of gas. Very intense top 3 battle going on right now. Chris Champo is still right there as well, just waiting for Collins to make a mistake so he can pounce. The rest of the pack is still right there, led by the 39er, James Watson. Champ's got a nose on Collins. Oh, there's almost contact coming out of 2. Chris Champo got a little bit loose and a little bit tight. He'll fall back to third. The battling getting intense. Laps winding down very quickly. Just have 21 laps to go. At the rate they're going, it's 40-second lap times just about. This will be over very quickly as the close quarters continue in this battle for second. It's a three-way battle now. And Collins is the one being attacked by Champo. They come into turn 3. Chris got most of the way there, but then that momentum on the outside line just brought Collins right on back. Collins drafting hard with Christian. Christian has absolutely sewn up the most laps led. This has been Chris's best chance to try and take over second. He has got Austin clear in the corner, and he's got a slide job up and take it with authority. Oh, but he touched the once, and they're wrecking. They're gone. Caution is out. James, the unfortunate, caught up in that incident. Let's back this up again. So there is the big slide job from the 12. And he just has the fence there, as you can see. And that just shoots him down the track into the right rear of Collins. Collins does well to not slam them both into the fence, but he overcorrects to the inside. And unfortunately, James Watson just nowhere to go. Vans with all that damage on his car. Austin keep it off the fence. He does. Well done. Oh, it looks like all the damage was for naught. It came back normal. He will have a little bit of right front damage from that. It's not going to be as bad as I thought it was, though. Now this is going to set up an electric finish. I think everyone is going to pit here for tyres. No one is going to have any fuel concerns. But tyres are going to be the mitigating factor. Now let's bring up our pit graphic. Everyone has pitted. Christian Budd in first, out first. And I'm surprised everyone, by the looks of things, has taken 4 tyres. I thought at this stage of the race someone would have gambled on 2. As Massieu has just gone out, there goes Austin and Chris. Got a couple cars left in the pits now. It's James Watson and Scott Rickard. Watson will have the most amount of damage to fix there. Rickard with damage from earlier when he ploughed the fence. But that's actually really, really unfortunate for James Watson. Just having such a good run, just caught up in someone else's mess. And it looks like Rickard's back out on track, so he'll probably have all of his damage fixed. So the order is going to be Christian Budd, Ken Campbell, Matt Horton, Logan McAnally, Mark Pentacuff, Mitch Pape, Dave Huckleberry, Travis Massieu, Austin Collins, Chris Champeau, Scott Rickard, and James Watson. But I think Chris has to let Scott by. Chris was deemed cause of the incident. Oh no, they put Chris on the outside line there. That's fine. He's still at the back of the field. This sets us up for a 15-lap restart. All right, here we go. Pace car goes in for hopefully the last time tonight. Everyone is on 4 fresh tyres. 15 laps to go in this race. Go. And we're off and racing. Big jump there for the 17 of Christian Budd. Not a great jump for Ken Campbell. It looks like the 8 of Matt Horton is going to come up on his inside. And there it is, Matt Horton takes over second. McAnally in the 1 car, looking to get his nose into this as well. He started behind Campbell, and he's trying to charge to the front. And he will get to P2. Clean and clear. Mitch Pape also looking to make an impact. He's right up there looking for a top 3 position. And Mark Pentecoff in P6, if you don't mind. Just thought that should be noted. It's close quarters for this battle from 2nd through to 7th. They're going to go 3 wide coming out of turn 2. It looks like McAnally now starting to pull away from the rest of these guys. But the battle is still on. Mark Pentecoff still has a chance at a top 5. Just saw someone clout the fence. I think that was Austin Collins. Oh, Horton trying to make Campbell loose. Oh, and the 6 shot up the track. He caught the apron. And not in the way that Horton was getting it before. He caught it wrong. Bounced off it. In this situation, apron bad. Horton sneaks underneath of Ken Campbell. He takes over 3rd. But Campbell, not one to sit on his laurels, trying to take the 3rd back away again. And he'll do so with 10 laps to go. Looks like these two are just going to have a good old slide job battle like they're down at the local dirt track. Although Horton now has the advantage and looks like he wants to run with it. Scott Rickard is a big old meanie that's gotten around Mark Pentecoff. There is still a chance for Pentecoff to get a top 10. Sorry, top 5. It's just probably going to take a little bit of disaster for someone up here making the wrong move at the wrong time. I can see James Watson still heavily damaged from that incident. He's already 6.5 seconds off the pace, which is horrible considering he was having such a good run tonight. He was right up there with a shot of getting the win. And we have a battle for the lead. McAnally was side by side with Bud going to 1 and 2. Intensity is picking up. Got 6 laps to go. We've strung out behind our top 2. The pace they're putting on is just too strong for everyone else. McAnally now attacking to the inside of Bud. Can he topple the most winningest driver in output racing history? I was checking it last week. I think Christian Bud has something like a 63% win ratio. So he's won more than half the races he's entered. Oh, and loose is McAnally. He caught the apron wrong. I think you can get away with it in 1 and 2 more than you can 3 and 4. We've got 4 laps left. Horton back into P2 now. Campbell shaping up as the hard charger winner. He's in P4. He's up 2 from where he started. Just 3 laps left in this race now. Does Horton have anything for Christian Bud? Does Campbell have anything for McAnally? McAnally looks like he's a little bit off the pace there. He was running very low on the Exeter too. There's a chance he overheated the tyres with that little manoeuvre that lost him P2. 2 laps left. I think we can say with all certainty, there is no way he can lose the championship from here. Comes down the back straight for the penultimate time. Into turns 3 and 4. It is going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it for our champion-elect, Christian Bud. Horton still has a lot of pace on board. He'll have probably 1 chance to make a move, and that's going to be in turns 3 and 4. See him running high, trying to get the momentum. Bud very low off the corner. And it looks like Horton is not going to be close enough as they come out of turn 4 for the final time. Your winner of the Great Lakes finale and the Team Watson Racing Setups chase for the Output Cup is going to be the 17 of Christian Bud. Matt Horton second. Ken Campbell will get into P3, getting around Logan McAnally. As every car is just finished, here is the results. Got Bud, Horton, Campbell, McAnally, Pape, Rickard, Collins, Pentacup, Champo, and Huckleberry as your top 10. Now we've got Massia in 11th, Watson in 12th, Amoit, who DNF'd, and Marquez, who was a DNS from this race. And there is the overly happy Christian Bud going for a huge slide through the grass. And here is the burnout celebration to go with it. And with that, we are going to go to a commercial break now. When we come back, we will have driver interviews, so make sure you guys stay tuned. All right, guys. Well, all right, here we go now. It is time for driver interviews, and as always, we kick things off with our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. And today's hard charger started in P6 and finishing in third. It is, of course, the 15 of Ken Campbell. Ken, great race out there tonight. You were towards the front for the majority of it. And if I'm correct, you were in a pretty decent spot coming into this final race. What was that, about 18 points off the lead? But yeah, it's just an insurmountable gap when you're dealing with Christian Budd, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I pretty much knew I was out of it coming in, especially with the car count tonight. And so just wanted a clean race. Michigan's one of my favorite tracks. And my YouTube channel is a sponsor, so I didn't want to, to have a lap one spin and take out the field. That would have been bad on so many different levels. So yeah, I just wanted to come in and run all the laps and have a little bit of fun, and was able to accomplish all that tonight.
Yeah, and you put in a really decent result here as well. What's it like, just being out there in a track that was pretty full throttle, almost super speedway like sometimes, and just having the break up of those cautions at random times throughout the race.
Yeah, it actually was very interesting. It was like a lot of different races in one, because starting out, you've got the long run in, you want to save your tires. And so, yeah, was doing all that. I was able to get a green flag stop in. Then it turns into a fuel mileage race. And so that's like a whole different kind of race, right? And so was trying to manage speed and still, be right on that razor's edge of having enough fuel, and thought I was doing a good job with that. And then the next caution came out, and then it's just a dash to the end, right? And so we had like 3 or 4 different kinds of races all in one, and so it really mixed it up. And unfortunately, the dash for the cash at the end is the exact opposite of my forte. So everything else kind of fit me, and I was able to get up into that spot, and then the short run speed just wasn't there. And Horton was able to get around me, and then with the arrow, not a whole lot you can do. But I don't think I was going to have anything for him anyway. So it's like, well, just go up there, and maybe they'll wreck. Maybe I can squeak one out that way. But no, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was 90 laps, and it was like 4 different races. So it was a lot of fun.
Now let's go into that final caution. The one just before the dash for the cash. Um, did it go through your mind to possibly take two? Because I've seen everyone took four tires on that stop. Were left side tires wearing out a bit, or was it just you just wanted to have the comfortability of all four tires?
So the lefts were wearing, um, but with it being as, even though you were able to aero block, um, it was multi groove, and so the two tires works a lot better if there's only one lane that you can do. And what I also noticed where we were on the fuel, if you took just a little less than to fill it up, it was only going to be 1 can of fuel. And if you just let it fill up like normal, it was going to take two. And so I think that's how I gained a couple spots is I took a little bit less fuel than everybody and didn't wait on the gas man to get that second tank. But I thought about taking two, and then I was like, well, okay, that's going to let me restart, and Christian's going to be second, and then he's going to pass me, and I'm going to be second again. So I felt a lot more comfortable on four for my position.
All right, now let's just do a quick little review of your season. Obviously, you're up there in the chase, right up there in the top five in points, coming to the end here. How would you rate yourself as a competitor this season? Because it looked like you had a pretty good run.
I was consistent. Like I had consistent speed. I don't think I ever had like winning speed, and I don't think I want to race this season, so that kind of checks out. But was doing some stuff, trying to learn the car a little bit, and just become a better driver, trying this and that. And like matter of fact, I've been in VR for like the last 2 or 3 races, and I was on screens before that. So just trying to mix it up and have fun and get consistent finishes. And so really happy with that. Definitely need to go and get that short run speed. That's been my Achilles heel forever. So still got a lot of work to do, obviously, but hopefully I can work on that in the off season and then have the winning speed to go along with the consistency.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to Ken?
Yeah, as always, first and foremost, shout out to my wife Casey, my kids Logan, Jet, and Easton. Support me in everything. Everybody here at the league at Output, the drivers, the admins, like everybody just does a fantastic job, and it's so refreshing to come out and race as hard as we do and as clean as we do. It just you do not find that on iRacing in leagues with the competitiveness that we have. Um, Shout out to Team Conti Sim Performance for helping me be a better driver, and Simrat Market for making me look fast, whether I am or not. And you for always calling a great race up in the booth.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out. And I have confirmation right now you have finished the season P3 in points. So, congratulations.
Hell yeah, let's go.
All right, guys, that was our third place getter here tonight, not just in the race, but in the season. And also our Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner, the 15 of Ken Campbell. Coming up next, we're going to have our second place getter. And it's always good when we get to talk to him because, he either runs really well or he puts himself in the wall and then we never hear from him for months at a time. It is, of course, the 8 of Matt Horton. Matt, you're starting to make a habit out of this. This is what, the third time this season we've had a chat?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get pretty good at this again, thankfully. Uh,
Yeah, it's a great race for you here tonight. You're right up in the conversation for the majority of it, even with starting right towards the back as a non-qualifier, which you do every week. But you really showed that you got a lot of pace here tonight, and a little bit of pit strategy as well. Just helped you work up towards the front of the field.
yeah, Michigan, this place has always been one of my better tracks on this service. So, regardless of the car, I'm typically pretty confident here. And yeah, I mean, I guess I just had a little enough speed to kind of get compete for a top five today.
Yeah, and you're also one of the chase competitors here for the chase as well. And I just having a look at the final results, and you gained 3 positions today from absentees, and you finished as 7th in the points overall. So not a bad effort considering you haven't been the most consistent here in a chase.
Yeah, obviously I didn't race Martinsville, but yeah, I feel like I'm starting to gain a little bit more confidence in this deal. I think I said the last time I talked to you, I've been pretty crap for a few years now, and I feel like I'm starting to, like I say, starting to get some confidence back.
And confidence is definitely the main thing. So how are you going to carry this confidence now with the podium and the 7th in the points to bring over to next season?
Hopefully not be shit for 2 years. No,
I mean, that is completely
it
fair, honestly.
it is fair, but no, it's just I got to keep, uh, just keep doing what I'm doing. A decent majority of the crap that I've done in the last couple of years has been me just stepping on my dick. So I got to stop doing that.
I mean, that's a completely fair assessment as well. I'm not going to say yay or nay to it. But
Yeah.
before we let you go here tonight, Matt, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Uh, Obviously all the people who run the league, who make this possible. I've been doing this for almost 5, 6 years now, and it's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Congratulations on coming home P2 tonight and a P7 in the championship. And we look forward to seeing you again next year for season 1 of 2026.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That was the 8 car, our second place getter here tonight, Matt Horton. Coming up next, he is the unstoppable force and he is the immovable object. It is, of course, not just your race winner tonight, but your champion for season 2 2025. It is, of course, the 17 of Christian Budd. Christian, what can I say that hasn't already been said, man? You are the most dominant force in output racing history. You've won over half the races that you've entered. And I do believe you've actually won every single championship you have entered with the Output Racing League.
Yeah, you know, I just like to just do the best I can every week, and tried to give it away several times this season in this championship, the little 4 race deal. Crashed myself embarrassingly last week at Martinsville, and then crashed out at Phoenix. So, you know, fortunately, was able to bring it home. Um, but honestly, winning's great and winning championships is great. But mostly, I do this league just because I like the people here and I like to come out and race with them. So that's why I do it.
All right, now let's just have a look at your season as a whole. It just had a pattern of the shorter tracks not really being in your favor this season, but the bigger tracks and I was going to say the super speedways, but you didn't attend any of the super speedways. But
Yeah,
the bigger tracks,
thankfully I did not.
the mile and a halfs, they were just absolutely right up your alley the whole season.
Yeah, I'm having a kind of a hard time remembering the tracks we ran, but I know we won Bristol. I think probably could have won um, Phoenix if I had just done a little better job there and not gotten off kilter on the strategy and all that. Um, I think we could have won Martinsville if I had not wrecked myself. So performance wise, it was there. It was just really more of a kind of circumstantial stuff, and um, you know, I mean, the way this race played out, this certainly wasn't what I expected Michigan to be, and Fontana was really weird with all the fuel mileage stuff. So it's a weird season, to be honest with you.
It really has, but the season is over now. Depending on what car we get for season 1 of 2026, do you think we'll see you back having a run, or you going to just play it by ear and see what we're running?
Yeah, I like to see what we're running. I mean, if it's the next gen, I won't do that because I don't like that. But Trucks, maybe I would do trucks. Xfinity, I would more likely do. Hopefully, never have to drive this car ever again. And I'm just going to soapbox for a second, but this is the sorriest excuse for a Gen 4 car I've ever seen. I mean, it's just the tonight was so silly. But we're just aero blocking like that and just wide open the whole time. I don't understand what iRacing's done with this thing, but it's not good. So maybe they'll run the Legacy Gen 4 car. That would be cool. I would definitely run that. Or if they ran any of the Legacy cars like the COT or the 2018 car, those would always be fun. But otherwise, I'm more interested in like the B car more than anything. So hopefully, maybe that'll win the vote.
All right, Christian, before we let you go here tonight, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, just everybody who puts the league on, all the drivers who show up, you for doing all the broadcast work and everything. It is a lot of fun, even if I hate the car sometimes. It's fun to come in here and race with all these guys. So, if you're looking for a league to run, I always say it. This is a really good place to race, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the winter season and the next season.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Christian. Congratulations on coming home with the win and the championship. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you again next season, 2026, season number 1.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was tonight's winner and your overall championship winner, the 17 of Christian Budd. But that is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you all so much for coming out the entire season. It's up in the air a little bit about whether we're going to be back for 2026 season 1, but we'll see. If not, then you might see a 65 car on track instead. But until next season, I have been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in 2026.